Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Connor Williams and today you're watching Wrestle Wrap, and today it'll be Friday Night Smackdown review. I know it's not immediately after, but it will be out there. You're hopefully watching this on Sunday before Night of Champions, which I'll hopefully get out to you tomorrow at some point. But yeah, let's break down Friday Night Smackdown. So Smackdown kicked off with AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn out in the ring. They're all discussing who's the rightful champion. Sami Zayn's there saying, oh, AJ shouldn't have took part in a contest that you knew wasn't for a legitimate title. And then AJ's like, Jeff, you shouldn't have grabbed my pants. And then Jeff Hardy says, if anyone's got anything to prove, it's Sami Zayn, because where's he been for the last 6 months or however long he's been out? And then AJ Styles goes, yeah, you're not worthy. It should really be me and Jeff. Sami Zayn then throws the ladder at both of them and starts attacking Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles, and then tries to run off. But then Adam Pearce comes out and goes, nah, this would have been fine, but the way you've gone about it's all wrong. Triple threat right now, non-title match obviously. And that's how SmackDown kicks off. I thought it was good. These are really good. There's all different elements to it. Everybody can claim a stake to the title. Everybody can claim they've been robbed in some way. I don't know about having the triple threat now. It's a bit, I don't know, leave it to the pay-per-view. People go see it like in 2 days tonight. So I don't know, but yeah, it's a strong start. Sami Zayn's doing really well since he's come back. Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles as well. I think he brings the best out of all three of them. But you get into a match. Sami Zayn defeats Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles. AJ Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm. He jumps out the way, hits Jeff Hardy with it. Zayn then lobs AJ Styles out the ring, gets the pin. I think we've seen him do this a couple of times, really sneaky. I think that might be how he won the title actually, I'm not too sure on that, but I think we've seen him do this a couple of times. After that, AJ comes, he hits Zayn with the ladder, hits Jeff with the ladder, then he climbs the ladder and unpins both the Intercontinental titles and is holding it, and that's how we close off for the first match. I thought it was a solid match. I thought it was a really good dynamic between the three of them. I look forward to the ladder match. All of them are very high flying, very charismatic. I think it'll be really, really good. But yeah, so next we move on. So next we have Bayley coming out. She sits on a chair. She calls out Sasha. She calls out Cross. She says she's been too busy thinking of Sasha. She's like, if she can hurt Sasha, what's she going to do to Nikki Cross? And then she starts to tap the chair to hint that she might do what she did to Sasha Banks to Nikki Cross. It was a really good promo this by Bayley. Bayley's really, really come into her own. I love her as a heel. I thought the hugging gimmick, you could only go so far with the hugger gimmick. It was always going to be a babyface thing. And it was always going to be a bit childish. Like, if you want a main event, you want people to take you seriously, this is how you do it. And she has stepped into it. Who'd have thought Bayley, the girl who went with the wacky inflatable arm men, would be such a good heel? She's fantastic, and apparently Vince loves her as well. And I can't blame him on this one. She's fantastic. But yeah, I thought it was a really, really strong promo. Then we move on to our second match of the night, and it's Shinsuke Nakamura defeating Metalik with a Kinshasa for the win. Cesaro then comes out and attacks Lince Dorado, and Kalisto just stands there, doesn't want to get involved. He gets in after they've left, asks them if they're alright, but they're already like, what are you doing? You didn't want to get involved. Again, teasing the split that's going to come. I think it'll come this Sunday, if anyway. But interesting. I think Lince Dorado's already been hinting it he might be unmasked. I think it's really, really good. I think it's good for the Lucha House part if they separate. It's a tag team that's gone a bit stale now. But the match was solid. Cesaro and Shinsuke, great together. Absolutely think they're money. Then we move on to a backstage segment where Otis says he will fight the Miz's lawsuit. He says that Miz and Morrison come out. They say they're goading Otis into hitting Miz. They're saying go on, add to the lawsuit. And then Tucker's like, Morrison's name's not on this. It's only the Miz's, which means Otis clicks on that he can batter Morrison, which he does do. He absolutely lays into him. Then he gets separated from the refs while the Miz tries to pull him off. Really good this. I think it'll cause tension with the Miz and Morrison a little bit, like, why haven't you put me on the lawsuit? It looks very obvious that the Miz is only one in the contract for him. Morrison's not involved. But yeah, it was a strong backstage segment. Then we have Jey Uso out in the ring, and he's going, why you give me a cold shoulder, Roman? I've been trying to get in contact with you. What's this look? What's the look for? The look that he did last week where he smiled and then snarled. Roman doesn't reply. You can see him listening, not bothered. Heyman comes out. He goes, the tribal chief will answer all these questions in the ring tonight. And then Jay says, nah, I knew this would happen. He's changed his number. He has Paul Heyman. I knew this would happen. What's going on? It's all a bit weird. But it looks like he'll get his answers later tonight. So it's one to look forward to. Then we have King Corbin, who defeats Matt Riddle cleanly. Riddle goes for, I think it's the bro something off the top rope. I can't remember what he called it. There's something bro in it. And the knees are up and he walks straight into the end of days. And I was a bit shocked about this. I didn't think they'd have Corbin beat him clean. Riddle then says this won't keep him down. He'll come back from this, you know. But the match was all right. It was bog standard. I'll give it like a C or a B. It was surprising that he beat Riddle clean. Maybe the push behind Riddle's sort of boiled off. There were allegations, weren't there, a couple of weeks ago? He was hot and then the allegations came. Maybe they're holding fire till they've got more information on the allegations, which is a clever thing to do if that's what they're doing, because you don't want to push him too high and then them be true. You know what I mean? But who knows, guys? We'll have to wait and see. I know obviously Riddle says they're not true. And to be fair, Vince is stuck by Velveteen Dream, hasn't he? So we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Maybe just pushing Corbin because he's good. Who knows? It's very weird a heel getting a clean win, that's all I'm thinking. But yeah. Next we have Lacey versus Alexa. Alexa gets the win over her. Lacey gets the win by disqualification. It's really, really weird this one. Alexa's in a doze, she's in a trance. Lacey dominates for a good, solid 3/4 of the match. Then the Fiend's lights go and and then Alexa's in a trance, she snaps, she starts hammering, booting her while she's on the ropes. The ref does a 5 count, you're DQ'd. Throws her out the ring. Sister Abigail again for the second time on the outside in 2 weeks for Lacey. And then the Fiend shows up on the Titantron and he says, let me in. Alexa looks pretty deranged at this point. Her hair's all like this, and yeah, she looks really deranged. But it's interesting to see where they're going with this. I don't know if the Fiend does need a sidekick. I like the idea that whoever is involved with changes forever. Obviously, Seth Rollins, he went to Messiah. Finn Balor went to NXT. Goldberg didn't. Braun Strowman now seems to have changed his attitude, his aura. He's now in the underground. I like that the Fiend, no matter like who you are, once he touches you, he changes you. I really like that, and I hope WWE realise that that's the trend they've got and keep with it. But yeah, I thought it was really, really good. As Alexa walks out, she does stare at Reigns as well as he holds up the title. Is the Fiend, after Jey Uso's out the way, going to come back for what's his? He wasn't pinned for it, if I'm not mistaken. Did he lose it? And then we have our final segment of the night. Reigns comes out, he says, I'd give you the title, Uso, but you wouldn't know what to do with it, to Jay, and he's like, you wouldn't know how to handle it. He's like, I'm not saying you're half the man I am, you're one half of the greatest tag team of our generation, but that's what you're known for. The family respect you. The family depend on Roman, no, never Jey Uso. And this is quite like, Roman comes across really well as this heel, the whole cocky heel. He's really, really good at it. Apparently when he was in FCW, he was really good at the cocky heel. This one's a bit better, I'd say. The FCW one was more like, oh, I'm running, like an arrogant, flamboyant, sort of like aristocrat type thing, whereas this is just, I'm better than everyone. Roman leaves the ring though after saying it. Jey Uso says, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and I beat you? He says people always ask him, like they're always like, oh, this is Roman, it's Mr. WrestleMania, it's Mr. Main Event, it's Roman Reigns. He's like, well, people always ask me, which one are you? And he's like, what happens if it changes? What happens? He said, I want to be known as the person who beat Roman Reigns. And then as Roman's gone in the back, Jey Uso's making his way up, he's saying goodbye to the fans in the Thunderdome. And then Roman Reigns Superman punches him out of nowhere, then picks his title up, goes up to his face and says that this feeds his family, it feeds Jay's family, and that Jay should just take his payday, take the ass whooping that comes with the payday, but he will never have the title and he'll never, ever, ever take Roman's place. And that's how it finishes. This was a really solid promo by both men. Certainly Jey Uso, I think Jimmy being injured's really helped him come into his own, because he's a credible contender now. Like, I don't think he'll win the world title, but he's a credible contender. He's good on the mic. This is a really good rivalry. This is one you can really get invested in. They've had Sika, Rikishi doing vignettes about it. There's one on WWE YouTube which is quite sweet, and it's Jay asking his son, and he goes, oh, I think Uncle Uwa And Jey Uso explains that his son calls Roman Uncle Uwa because of the whole "wah" before the spear thing, which I think is kind of cute. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Ace reckons that Reigns will win, and it's quite a weird one, but it's quite a nice rivalry. It's a really not nice. It's family blood, but it's nice for us as viewers. It's really, really good. This went from a rivalry view a bit to wow, I'm invested in this. And SmackDown again, a lot better this week. But yeah, I think that's a really great way to end the pay-per-view. I'm excited for it. I think I know the outcome, but it's a shame. Jey Uso's got one of the best haircuts in wrestling. Said it last week. Seen his mullet again today. I might get one. Really, really rate it. But again, SmackDown was really, really good, guys. I'd give it about a B or an A. I actually really enjoy SmackDown. Could do with more Fiend, but I'm starting to really enjoy it. I'm starting to enjoy it as much as Raw. Don't know how much I value Raw at the minute. I'm more excited for SmackDown though, because I'd say the biggest, the stars I'm more looking forward to at the minute, aka the Fiend, Reigns, they're all on here. Jey Uso. I quite like Buddy Murphy on Raw, and I quite like Seth Rollins. They're doing a good job of splitting them, but I'd say SmackDown has really, really stepped up its gear. Bayley really helps as well. She's brought the women's division, whereas Raw's women's division at the minute, Nia Jax and Shayna. Oh, and Asuka, who's brilliant. But they're the three, and then where's the credible opponents for Asuka when it's not those two? I know Selena Vega's gone into it now, but I don't know. Whereas this, you've got Bayley versus Nikki Cross, then you're gonna have Bayley versus Sasha, and then maybe Bayley versus Nikki versus Alexa when she's changed under the Fiend. The women's division on SmackDown really has caught my eye a lot. For all the right reasons. I think it's really, really good at the minute. And SmackDown as a whole, guys. You might disagree. If you do, leave them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you after Clash of Champions Gold Rush.